Have you ever wondered what happened to Blockbuster? One day, it was a giant, a blue and gold behemoth on nearly every street corner in America. It was the undisputed king of home entertainment. Families planned their Friday nights around a trip to its brightly lit aisles. A weekend ritual as American as apple pie. The iconic ticket stub logo, a symbol of choice. The iconic ticket stub logo, a symbol of excitement. The iconic ticket stub logo, a symbol of a guaranteed good time. Then almost overnight it vanished. The stores emptied, the signs came down. The once bustling parking lots fell silent, a ghost of what used to be. This is the story of how a billion-dollar empire crumbled into dust. A concity by a gano kosher. Ondanikran shuribari. Indonet sparben krin siu gurdoi. And jananor nare. On jano biri. Not a gentle riui, or gentle fade, but a spectacular corporate implosion that stunned analysts and customers. The story begins in Dallas, Texas. The year is 1985. A man named David Cook, who had a background in software, saw a problem with the local video rental stores. They were often small, family-run operations with a limited selection of tapes. The stores could feel disorganized. Inventory couldn't meet a busy weekend night. Cook envisioned something different. He imagined a bigger, brighter, more family-friendly superstore. He wanted thousands of titles, a computerized inventory system, and a clean, corporate atmosphere that appealed to everyone. On October 19, 1985, the very first Blockbuster opened. It was an immediate sensation. Thousands of VHS cassettes, late hours, and fast computerized checkout made it feel revolutionary. Cook's model was built for rapid expansion, data-guided local assortments. The formula was a runaway success. By 1987, Wayne Huizenga led investors to scale it nationwide. The company went public in 1989, and the logo spread across America. Scale drove leverage, bulk buying cut costs. Systems kept new releases in stock. For customers, the choice was easy. By the mid-90s, Blockbuster wasn't just a company, it was a cultural institution. In 1994, Viacom acquired Blockbuster for $8.4 billion, part of a media empire. Paramount Pictures, MTV. At its peak, more than 9,000 stores, over 84,000 employees, roughly a quarter of the global home video market. Friday, Saturday, crowds poured in. The ritual, the search, the last copy, the popcorn, the candy. Revenue leaned on new releases, but profits leaned on late fees, estimated at times as high as 70%. A growing liability. Leadership called them necessary to speed turns and maximize rentals, but penalizing loyal customers seeded resentment a rival would exploit. At its zenith, it seemed untouchable. But storms gathered just beyond the skyline. The year 2000, a fork in the road. Reed Hastings, Mark Randolph, Netflix's founders arrived with a proposal. DVDs by mail, no due dates, most importantly, no late fees. For $50 million, Blockbuster could buy Netflix and let it run Blockbuster's online brand. The executive team listened, led by CEO John Antioco. Then they laughed them out of the room. Why wait for the mail when you could get it instantly? No threat, no value at $50 million. Business as usual. A decision now seen as a legendary blunder. Late fees turned liability. Anger grew, and lawsuits followed. DVD made mail viable, small, light, durable, perfect for shipping. Video on demand loomed. A 2000 Enron deal collapsed with Enron's bankruptcy. Rather than a bold digital pivot, Blockbuster clung to stores, tech as supplement, not future. The cracks were visible. Few inside wanted to see them. Section 5. The view from the top. A culture of confidence. Success bred certainty. They perfected one profitable model: logistics, real estate, in-store marketing. Their world. From Dallas, the world looked like locations to conquer, a well-oiled machine for stores. Every system, process, and incentive tied to store performance. An online subscription would dismantle everything, even cannibalize late fees, snacks, and drinks. Easier, safer, stick with the proven formula. Antioco later recognized the threat. By 2004, he launched Blockbuster Online. It gained millions of subscribers. He pushed to eliminate late fees. The board and franchisees resisted losing hundreds of millions. In 2007, conflict peaked over his bonus and strategy. Antioco was forced out. Jim Keyes took over. He reversed course, betting on instant in-store gratification as streaming took off. While Blockbuster wrestled with demons, competitors innovated. Side by side, streaming future, kiosk disruption, and the legacy store. Netflix honed its site, built Cinematch, and scaled fast shipping. No out-of-stocks, no late fees, convenience that customers loved. Redbox. Cheap, easy, everywhere people already shopped. A lean model attacked from the low end. In 2007, as Blockbuster doubled down on retail, Netflix launched streaming. Limited at first, but the future was obvious. Movies on your screen at the click of a button. While Blockbuster sold more candy, Netflix built a streaming infrastructure. The shift to digital raced ahead of Blockbuster's willingness to adapt. Leases, payroll, and disc logistics became anchors in a digital tide. An analog giant in a digital world, and its enemies were nimble and invisible. By the late 2000s, the writing was on the wall, in the red of a Netflix envelope. Revenue plunged as customers fled to mail, kiosks, and streaming. Burdened by nearly $1 billion in debt, the cost of past expansion, kiosks and streaming arrived too little, too late. Closures accelerated a vicious cycle of shrinking convenience and declining revenue. Wall Street's darling became nearly worthless. The world watched. On September 23, 2010, Blockbuster filed for Chapter 11. Restructuring couldn't restore relevance. In 2011, Dish bought what remained, a fraction of its 90s valuation. A smaller chain and a new streaming service were planned. But Netflix was too far ahead. Brand and tech alike. By January 2014, the empire of 9,000 stores was gone. A few franchises lingered. Eventually, they too went dark. Today, the Blockbuster empire is reduced to a single store. Located in Bend, Oregon, it stands as a living museum, a tourist attraction, a nostalgic monument to a bygone era. It survives on rentals and merchandise, for loyal locals and curious visitors, a symbol not of failure, but of a tangible, communal way to choose a movie. For a generation it means childhood, family, Friday pizza, sleepovers, discovery. The torn ticket logo and colors live on in fashion and pop culture. Physical ghosts remain. Those boxy storefronts repurposed as gyms, daycares, and more. Their architecture tells the story. Silent monuments to technology's power and complacency's cost. Now, a modern fable. The go-to lesson in disruption. Blockbuster may be gone, but its lessons still echo in the world it left behind. The story of Blockbuster is not a mystery with a single, simple solution. It was a death by 1,000 cuts, a perfect storm of internal missteps and external pressures. Leadership failed to see they sold entertainment, not plastic tapes. Blinded by store success, they saw tech as threat, not evolution. They clung to the past while rivals built the future. Netflix and Redbox rewrote the rules, removing late fees and inconvenience. They leveraged mail and the internet to delight customers. Blockbuster's infrastructure and late fee addiction made it too slow to respond. Years of dominance bred arrogance and inertia. Bold pivots met fear and conflict when speed was vital. In the end, it wasn't Netflix that killed Blockbuster. Self-forward by self-inflicted wounds. It failed to rewind its own thinking. Adapt or disappear.